Hi, welcome to my channel. Today I'm talking about your dominant feeling state. What is your dominant feeling state over any given situation? Something that you would like to bring into your life, something you like to create, manifest. And so you're putting your focus on getting it, so doing whatever it is that you're doing to get it. But what is your dominant feeling state? So what do you feel most of the time about this? And the easiest way to really get clarity on what you are feeling is to say to yourself, okay, there's a feeling inside of me regarding this, because there's bound to be. What is that feeling? If I had to put a label on it, what is the label that I would put on this? So what would I call it? And that is just a really good way of seeing what's going on in there. Now that label, if you've been wanting to manifest something for a long time, or trying, as it were, for a long time, then that label you will find will not match that desire. So it will be out of whack. So maybe you want it, but your underlying feeling, so your dominant feeling state is, it's not here. Why isn't it here? It's never going to be here. Any of those things. So clearly label that feeling, and then you can move on from that point, because often we sort of let these feelings bubble away inside of us and we don't really address them and look at exactly what's going on here. So we're still trying to manifest this particular thing, and then we've got this opposite feeling going on, this contradictory feeling state. And it's the feeling, if you looked at my last video, that manifests. That's what's read. It's a signal. If you think of your feeling as a signal, that is what's read by what I call the algorithm, the reality's algorithm, and gives you back things in line with what you're feeling. So it might be exactly what you're feeling, or it might be things that show to you, that prove to you that you are right. You know, those feelings are right. So if you think that somebody's over you, for example, and you really feel that's your underlying dominant feeling state on a situation, then you will see things in line that will show to you and prove to you that you are right, because that is what reality is delivering to you. That's what the algorithm is delivering to you. Because if you think of what you're feeling, if you try and look at it this way, your feeling state is your signal, but look at it like this: you are asking for it. If you want to put it in really simplistic terms, you are asking for something based on how you're feeling about it, not on what you want. So not on your words, but on your feeling. So that's what's going on here. So get that label on it. And if it's say attachment to the outcome, so I'm attached to seeing this unfold in this way, I am attached to manifesting this because I've put all of this work in, whatever it is, that has a feeling. Now we can artificially change feelings of things. So for example, if I had a feeling of attachment over something, if I could really feel a strong attachment to it, and that it feels like a block, doesn't it? It feels like a stuck feeling inside of us, really. I would notice that, and I would think, what can I do about that feeling for it to feel different? So I would change the way it felt. I would artificially change the feeling of it. So whilst it felt stuck at the moment, I think, okay, I'm going to give that a different feeling, because we can do that. It does take a bit of playing around, but you can definitely do it. So maybe I might change that attached feeling so that stuck feeling that I have sort of put with attachment to excitement, or looking forward to what's going to unfold. What does that feel like? So you'd have to keep doing it for a while until it kind of, what then happens is that strong feeling that you had, that stuck feeling, kind of dissipates, and it goes to, as long as it's sort of 20% or less, that's fine, because you're completely balanced. Then your dominant feeling is not that, so that's fine, because you'll just have a bit of that every now and again, and that's cool. So that's what's going on here. If you are worried about something, nervous about something, sad about something, all of those things, they will not stop anything coming to you. Those kind of feelings aren't a block. They're something completely different. They're just natural feelings. I mean, I have been concerned about things, and I have had that feeling of it is done, it's going to be okay. So I've had that reassuring feeling, but I've still had a little bit of a worry there, and it's niggling me a bit. But intellectually, I know that I've had that it is done feeling, but still have that concern because it hasn't been resolved at that point. And then it does get resolved all the time when I've had that overwhelming, I can't really call it overwhelming, it's more of a fleeting feeling of everything's going to be okay. It's not a glimpse into the future of a prediction of the future. I'm looking at the way I want to go, so I'm pointing myself in the direction that I want to go. So say I want something to be resolved in a certain way, I point myself in that direction, and then I get that feeling. So I do evoke that feeling, but it sort of feels like a natural feeling. Now, if I wanted something different to happen, I'd be pointed in a different way and I'd get the feeling that way. So it's not that I'm predicting the future, like, oh, well, you're just getting that. What if you don't? What if you get the opposite feeling, the feeling that it's not going to be okay? Well, that's just because you're not in the right feeling state at the moment to get the reassurance that you want. You just have to wait until you've calmed down a little bit and then do it again. So that is how that sort of intuitive feeling works for me, that it is done feeling. It's, like I said, it's not a prediction of a set future, because I don't believe there is a set future. It's just it is a prediction of the course that you've put yourself on, that you want to be on. But again, don't worry about, it's not nice to fear and worry and all that, but that won't hold it back. It won't. It might feel like it's not going to come, but it won't hold it back. It's that kind of that kind of stuck feeling that we want to get rid of, really. And we do that either by just noticing it, by putting that label on it, thinking, oh, that's not going to do me any good, and managing just to drop it. Sometimes I can do that. But if you can't do that, then swap it for another feeling. And also try to see it as part of this. Yeah, when you initially want something, before you really notice what's going on with your feelings, it's normal to be slightly attached to it. But attachment to a person is never a good thing. Even if you say, well, I can manifest when I'm attached, well, that's cool. But attachment's not great anyway, because what you're doing is placing your happiness on another person. I will be happy when. And so you are saying you're not good enough by yourself. So attachment is always great to try and lessen that in any which way that we can do that. This is a fairly short video, so I wanted to get one out on the bank holiday weekend. And I think my neighbours, because all of my neighbours are retired, they're out and they tend to do stuff to their houses on the bank holiday weekends, and it often includes crashing and banging around or drilling. So I can tell that there's something going on. I can hear it next door, so I'm not going to make this a long one. But you can change any feeling that you want to change artificially. Yes, it's artificial, and you're rational. You're not trying to convince your rational brain that anything is true that isn't true. It's an exercise, a feeling exercise. How can I change this feeling? I don't like the way it feels. I know it's there. Let's change it for a different feeling. Because the only thing that's being read is your feeling, nothing else. Like whatever this is, let's say the universe, it isn't going, oh, okay, well, they're just making that feeling up. That's not real, so they can't have that. Honestly, that's not what's going on here. It's practicing a feeling in order to make that feeling more natural within you. But it is a practice, and I'd say it's a skill, but it's not really. It's just a tool for your toolbox. And if you can take this forward with you, you can change anything, really, because what we are doing is manipulating energy here. That's all we're doing. And if you practice at that and see it like that, I'm manipulating energy, becomes much, much easier, doesn't it? It doesn't seem half so hard and tough. And this stuff isn't, and it shouldn't be. So the harder work you make it, and the harder you try, the more you are saying, well, I don't have it now, I don't have it now. So your signal is, I don't have it now. So, try and put labels on things. It's really useful to do that, because it really gives you a clear indication of what your feelings are doing. And then you can look at that and think, well, if it's doing this, then I can't get this, can I? So I need to practice another feeling and try to see this as a bit more of a game, the game of life. As Florence Scovel Shinn said, the game of life and how to play it. And, a lot of stuff she said I don't go with, like karma, for instance, that's not something that I believe in. But, a lot of stuff I do. And I quite like the idea of seeing this as a game of life. If you see it like I do, like it's an algorithm working on our feelings, then it becomes much, much easier to become aware of your feelings first, and then put a label on them, and then think, okay, well, that is out of whack with what I want. So what can I do about that? There's always a solution. Honestly, and that is my motto in life, and it has been for years and years before I was even into this. There's always a solution to everything, and there is, and it's just a way of finding your way of moving forward with it. And yes, you will have your ups and downs with it, and you will have times where you feel a bit stuck, but if you have a tool in your toolbox to deal with that, then you will become unstuck. And some things you will see come to you really quickly, and some things not so quick. But do you know what, I've had theories about the time thing, and I have spoken about that before, and I might do another video about that. But actually, you've got to try and take your focus away, your awareness away of the time, because we can't quite get it really, the time thing, and you can tie yourself up in knots thinking, why isn't it happening? But I'm not attached, why isn't it happening? And then you go back down that rabbit hole again. So you need to try to give yourself positive momentum bursts. So every time you see something that you have manifested, or even part of something, then you congratulate yourself. That's awesome, I've done that. So give it positive momentum rather than, but that's not completely what I want, so that's rubbish. Because then it's the two different feeling states. So you're tapping into the positive feeling state, and that carries you forward and you get more of the good stuff. Honestly, that's what it is. It's changing that sort of your vibrational you will get a vibrational reaction to something, but then it's how you deal with that. As I say, a lot of the time your reaction to the reaction is what's important here. So it is all about your feeling state. It is all about being aware of it and just knowing that there are things that you can do about it. You are not a victim to your feelings. I used to say that to myself back in the day. I will not be a victim to my feelings. And it used to really snap me out of something, and it allowed me to play around with feelings, and just seeing it as energy and, how can I manipulate this and change this, make this feel differently? Again, it's not, sometimes you can just do it once and that will be a change and you will think, oh my God, that's amazing. But sometimes you will have to do it for a while. It's a bit of a repetition thing. But really that is the key, and it has been the key for me. Maybe you don't agree, but what's the harm in trying? That's the way I look at this. If I'm telling you something that you've never tried before and you're thinking, oh, that sounds a bit mental, just try it. What is the harm in trying? Mess around with your feelings. How can I change this feeling? Doesn't matter what I'm saying it is. If it's an attachment, whatever this is, the algorithm is not reading my words. Attachment is reading my feelings. So if I can manipulate that feeling inside of me, make it feel different, for a start, it's going to feel better, and you're going to actually think, oh, I quite like that feeling, because then you'll just naturally come out of that kind of attachment cycle by swapping the way that you feel, playing with energy manipulation. Right, that's it. I'm going to stop now. Thanks for listening, watching, and I'm an author. My books are all listed below, and I offer Zoom coaching, email coaching. I have a podcast every single week with my son Harrison. We are filming this one later on today because it's bank holiday here in the UK, and I'm going to wait until later. I think we're going to film it this evening. And that is all generally based around, it's always based around the law of attraction in some way or another, often based around relationships. So again, I will list the latest one below, which won't be the one that we're filming today, but I will list that in the description. And anything else I feel might be useful to you, I will link in the description. So thank you for watching.